Hi everyone, it's Dr. Bell here, and today we're going to talk about conflict resolution with infants and toddlers. You've been learning about conflict resolution with older children over time, but there's just very little research out there that talks about how infants and toddlers conflict resolve. However, there is research, so I wanted to encourage you in that way. I'm going to share my knowledge as best as I have it, and hopefully it'll help shed light on ways to develop conflict resolution in the infants and toddler stage. One thing we need to know is that infants and toddlers do their developmentally appropriate stages of conflict resolution, and they can be guided and scaffolded in it. The thing to remember is forcing an infant or toddler to apologize or solving a problem for the infant and toddler kind of wipes away the learning that's taking place when you are helping them to learn to solve problems with each other. So the first thing you want to do when an infant or toddler has a conflict, as long as it's physically safe, is to use the count to 10 rule. Sit back and kind of observe and see if they're going to solve the problem themselves, because sometimes it's just a matter of being too close to each other or a slight struggle over a toy, and then one of them gets distracted and sees something else they want to play with and they move on. So give them to 10 as long as there's no physical injury or risk of physical injury. If you have a biter, don't count to 10. Go there. We want to protect the children. So if you do have to scaffold conflict resolution, what that looks like with infants and toddlers is you call attention to the victim's face, if there's a victim, so to speak. You look at the baby and you say, look at his face, and then you shared eye gaze. Kind of look towards the face and say, look at his face. See his face? His face is going like this, and imitate the face. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. And then give them what to do. That's his toy. Yeah. That's his toy. Give him some space, whatever it is that needs to be done. Then go to the actual victim and kind of carry out the scenario for them. Look at them from the victim's perspective. It's best to either get behind or right next to the victim and face the aggressor and say, I don't like it. Give it back. That was mine. Tell him that. And then you look at the child and say, tell him that. Now, if the child doesn't have language yet, they're not going to tell him that, but still offer and pause. And so that they kind of learn that there's a pattern here of how to solve the conflict. Once you get a child in a 2-year-old room or an older toddler class, you can start to kind of mimic whatever conflict resolution solution you use in your school. If it's a peace table or a peace rose or solution mat or something like that, you can take them to that place and kind of back and forth with them, for them, just as a model. But the big important piece is calling attention to the face of the victim and then getting next to the victim and giving them the words that they should be using to assert themselves. And then go to the aggressor's side after that and say, but I wanted to play with it, or whatever you think might be happening in the child's mind, and then resolve the conflict by giving the toy back or moving the first child, whatever you think is best.